Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and we have our lovely co host, I Chill. Hey, boo.
Hey.
And today is Thursday, May 15th. So we have what I believe is some really good tea for us today. But before we start with the tea, we're going to go ahead and get started with the Mayhem, where we honor someone who causes good trouble in society. And I chose today, this is actually a little bit different from me because, I'm notoriously not a sports ball fan, but I still, want to give credit where credit is due, especially on someone's birthday. So today we're going to be honoring Emmett Smith. And let me get I have a link from Britannica.com that gives a really nice bio on him. And today is his birthday, by the way. So happy birthday, Mr. Smith. So Emmett Smith, born May 15th of 1969 in Pensacola, Florida, is an American gridiron football player who in 2002 became the all-time leading rusher in the National Football League NFL history. He retired after the 2004 season with 18,355 yards rushing. He also holds the records for most rushing touchdowns in a career with 164. Smith excelled early in football, starring in youth leagues and by the time he finished high school, earning National Player of the Year honors from Parade magazine, among other publications. He played 3 years from 1987 to 1989 at the University of Florida in Gainesville, racking up 58 school records before being selected in the first round of the 1990 NFL drafts by the Dallas Cowboys. Smith soon established himself as one of the league's premier running backs. He was named NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in 1990, and the following season ran for 1,563 yards to capture the first of his four NFL rushing titles. Uh, the other three were in 1992, 1993, and 1995. With quarterback Troy Aikman and wide receiver Michael Irvin, Smith was part of a formidable Dallas offense, helping the Cowboys win consecutive Super Bowls over the Buffalo Bills in 1993 and 1994. He rushed for 1,486 yards during the 1993 regular season, averaging a tremendous 5.3 yards per carry, and was named the NFL's most valuable player. Smith won a third Super Bowl championship in 1996. His rushing totals began to fall off in the late 1990s, and the Cowboys released him after the 2002 season. Smith then signed with the Arizona Cardinals, finishing his career with two relatively nondescript seasons in Arizona. Though Smith was relatively small, he stood, it says 1.75 meters, which is 5'9". He was 5'9" tall, and he weighed 202 pounds. And he lacked great speed. He thrived in the NFL by relying on his strength, uh, dodginess, and superb conditioning. He ultimately proved to be one of NFL's most durable players at any position. Between 1990 and 2002, he failed to start in only two games. An eight-time Pro Bowl selection over the course of his career, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2010. So again, shout out to this icon here. So I don't all those numbers I just read, I don't know what any of them mean, but they sound really important. And it sounds like he did sounds like he did a lot of good in the NFL when he was in there.
Yeah, it was pretty good,
So
especially for his height. Matter of fact, I saw a post on Twitter about a new player. I think he's trying out for the NFL. He's been, I don't know if he'll make it because, they cut people. They draft so many, but you only have so many spots. Just because you get drafted is not a guarantee, right? You have to
mhm.
compete for those spots. So, and he was like 5'5".
Oh,
Like, yeah, that's he was fast too. So hopefully we'll see him in the future. But go, Mr. Smith. And of course, he's married to.
who is he married to?
Oh God, what? See, I knew you were
Let
gonna
me
ask
go look. Emmett Smith,
an
wife.
actress, autism activist.
It says Patricia South Hall or Patricia Pat South Hall.
Oh, maybe I'm confusing him with someone else.
Oh, she's black. He got a black wife. I know that's right.
But that's not
Black
who
and gorgeous.
I'm
Oh yes, honey. Emmitt Smith's
confused.
wife is gorgeous, honey. I wonder who you were thinking of. The fact that you're shocked and excited about that says a lot.
Well, because we talked about her. She's a activist, and we talked about her. She had a post. Remember, the woman was talking about autism, and she came. Holly,
Oh, Holly Robinson Pete. No, her husband is Rodney Pete.
Rodney Pete. Yeah, see, I was confusing him with Rodney Pete. Yeah. Sorry,
Chill.
listeners. I had my
Chill. Now that is
football class
unacceptable.
messed up.
Even I knew that. Chill. Come on now.
Oh, don't you even try. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try it.
No,
That's
and the
my
only reason I
bad.
knew that, yeah, because I'm a huge fan of Holly Robinson, so that's
Right.
the only reason I know who her husband is.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that one. I messed that
I
one up.
I remember when they got back together, not when they got together and stuff, when they got married and stuff, and I actually used to be a really big fan of the show Hanging with Mr. Cooper. And
Uh
she
huh.
she played Vanessa in that show, and I loved her. So anything that had anything, and remember how they say that she looks like Terry Ellis.
Yep. Yep. She
Mm-hmm.
does. Okay. Well, my bad.
Well, again, happy birthday, Emmett Smith, and we wish you many more birthdays. And yeah, I would say that based on those numbers, that even though I don't know what they mean, it does sound like he made some good trouble in society, and he was making it do what it do during his time in the NFL.
And his wife is black. So
And
hey.
his wife is black. Yes. Well, let's go ahead and get started with the tea, honey.
It's tea time.
Yes. Now the first link I'm going to share, of course, we're going to start off with the Diddy trial.
Got to.
Now,
Ooh.
uh, yes, honey. Now where we left off yesterday, and I'm sharing the same link that we used yesterday because it recaps everything that was talked about. After our show finished yesterday, of course, we found out some things about Kid Cudi that Cassie said on the stand, and we're going to read about that now. Where we last left off, we learned that Diddy, she had a surprise. Cassie had a surprise 29th birthday party, and Diddy took her away to go do a freak off. So took her away from her birthday party just to go freak off.
Mm.
So, and then it says that the jury did see. We talked about yesterday because I thought they were going to be shown a video of the freak offs, but apparently they've just been shown still images
Mm-hmm.
of the freak offs. And let's see. Da, 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 da. Yep, they were not shown to the media. Okay, so now here's where she talks about Kid Cudi. So Cassie says Diddy threatened her over Kid Cudi relationship. Ventura testified yesterday that she began dating rapper Scott Muscati, better known as Kid Cudi, after meeting him in December of 2011. Ventura said she was up and down at the time and that she and Combs weren't in the greatest place. Combs found out about her relationship with Muscati during a freak off after seeing emails, Ventura testified. I just remember Combs putting a wine opener in between his fingers and lunging at me, Ventura said. Ventura recalled speaking to Combs where he allegedly told her that he was irate and threatened to release freak-off videos to harm her and Muscati. Sean kicked me in the back. I fell on the floor, then left. Ventura testified. I had a large bruise on my back and bruise on other places. He literally kicked me with the bottom of his foot. Following the encounter, Ventura went back to her hotel room and found that someone had torn it up, she testified. Oof, that's crazy. And then it says the next update, Diddy threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car, Cassie testifies. On the witness stand, Ventura testified that Combs grew so infuriated about her dating Kid Cudi that he threatened to blow up the rapper's car and wanted Cudi's friends to see it too. Sean wanted Scott's friends to see Scott's car get blown up, Ventura said, referring to Cudi by his birth name, Scott Muscati. The indictment against Combs mentions nothing about an incident, though. The government says the racketeer conspiracy he allegedly led committed arson, among other things. Ventura's 2023 civil suit, which was settled within a day, includes a tidbit about Combs' anger at Cuddy and goes on note that Cuddy's car blew up in his driveway soon after in 2012. Cuddy confirmed to the New York Times in 2023 that his car blew up around that time. And it says the next update: Cassie accuses Diddy of raping her in 2018 after she tried to break up with him. So, and I just want to start off by saying, any of you who had questions of, oh well, why didn't she just leave? We finding out why. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Ventura said that she went to dinner with Combs in 2018 to attempt to end their relationship after she started seeing her now husband Alex Fine. Combs was nice and playful during the dinner, she said, and offered to drive her home. Then, as she went inside, she testified that he followed her into her apartment and raped her. I went inside, he came in and raped me on the living room floor, she said. I just remember crying and saying no, but it was very fast. His eyes were black. He wasn't himself. The last time she was in contact with Combs, she said, was in March of 2019 when she messaged her. When he messaged her about an iPad full of skeletons, something she interpreted as a reference to a freak off video. Baby, and remember how they didn't disclose when she settled her case in 2023. Remember how she didn't disclose? Well, they didn't disclose how much money she settled and got for that settlement.
Right.
We found out yesterday, baby. It was a total of $20 million. So and the next update, Cassie said she settled civil suit with Diddy for $20 million. Then Ventura said on the stand that she reached a $20 million settlement with Combs to drop her 2023 civil suit against him. Ventura sued her ex Combs in 2023, accusing the mogul of rape, sexual assault, and battery. The suit was settled the following day for an amount that remained undisclosed until today. Well, yesterday, rather. And that was the last update from yesterday. So, who the hell
Yeah.
does he think he is? Timothy McVeigh?
They've been posting her questionings. They've been posted the whole testimony. I saw a thread this morning of things that was said yesterday, and um, at first she really was very enamored with Diddy, and even though they had done some freak off, she was sort of, I guess, willingly doing it because she loved him and she wanted to be a star, whatever, you know. But as they became more violent and controlling, and then she didn't have a choice, and making her do it even when she was not feeling well and so forth, I'm sure it became that way later. But it just the testimony. My heart goes out to this woman. This is her third day. Well, she's done 3 days already on the
Mm-hmm.
stand. I can't imagine the toll this is taking on her at her, especially at her stage of pregnancy. It's really just really sad to me that she's having to do this. She didn't have a choice. People think she's testifying willingly, but she's involved in this case and she had to testify. So it's just sad for her watching her have to go through this and for so long. Now she's being questioned by the prosecution, so it's going to be even more tense, you know,
Mm-hmm.
this time around.
Yes, but if you heard that, if you, honey, and you're right, I just want to point out, like she was questioned by the prosecution before. Now she's going to be cross-examined by the defense starting today.
Well,
And
right,
baby,
the
if
defense.
you thought, yep, and if you thought, honey, you thought she was under stress now, honey, the defense is going to rip her apart, and I hate that for her. It's
Yeah,
like you said, especially at this stage of her pregnancy.
right. And all this time she's been on the stand. I don't know why I'm getting things backwards today. It's just been, yeah. Anyway,
It's
I
you.
won't
You
further.
probably had a day like mine.
Yeah, it's been interesting, but anyway, yeah, they're gonna tear her up. They've already started, trying to make her text messages like she was a willing participant. What was going on.
hmm and I just shared the link from people who now I'll definitely look to see if there are any other publications that have like any other updates, but people really didn't update much for today. And y'all notice I just shared the link from their day 4 updates from the trial. And the only update that they have is Cassie takes the stand for a third day to face cross examination. And Ventura is back on the witness stand for a third consecutive day and is facing cross examination by Combs' attorneys. Questions are being leveled at the Me and You singer by attorney Anna Estaval. I think that's how you say her name. So, yep, they knew it. They knew what the optics would look like if they had a man trying to do that questioning. So, yeah.
Right. You peep that? You peep that? They letting a
Mm-hmm.
woman do it? They definitely coming for her. I just feel bad for her. But this
So,
is only the beginning. There's a lot more coming.
you are absolutely right. And can you and Chill could read the inner city thread. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good one. I have to say, y'all, I hope I'm wrong, but I think Diddy does indeed have a chance of well, I think the jury has a chance of, even though we haven't really heard the cross examination yet. It's just the fact that the jury is mostly men. That alone just kind of lets me know, I,
But Auntie, if she's only the first person to testify, I have to figure there's way more people. And I mean, look at how many people are involved in this case.
yep,
I mean, her testimony is explosive for sure, but there's so many more people that have to come forward that have named him, as their abuser. So maybe men being on the jury might be to their favor because there's a lot of men involved in this too. So I don't know.
yeah. I like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But honey, the way even though he has the black factor to worry about, but the way the court systems usually let men of power and money get away with things, I don't know. And then it's that whole reasonable doubt thing. That's what like I said, my knowledge of the law is learned through Law and Order SVU. So by them putting it by the defense, you remember how the defense said, "Oh, this video was edited by CNN. It was edited so they sped it up, slowed it down. So now that's causing reasonable doubt."
Right.
Remember, the burden of the proof is on the prosecution. They have to prove that Diddy is who they're saying that they are beyond a reasonable doubt.
That's true.
And
That's true.
men don't look at certain things the same way women do. Well, excuse me, cis hetero men don't look at things, and just like Happy made a really good point in the chat. The video alone puts him guilty, case over. And I wish that were the case, but you see how even after that video, Diddy still has thousands, millions maybe of supporters who still
Yeah.
trying to like. So that's why I'm like, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope he does get what he deserved at the end of this trial. But I don't have any faith in the court system.
Her text messages have definitely put the big in the beginning because that's what they're using against her when she was going along with what he wanted, and I can't wait, and all of this kind of stuff. The last thread I read about the testimony just really didn't look good, but
Mhm.
there's still more to come. There's just still more to come, and so I have to think that as the testimony from others comes along, it'll be more obvious that he is what they say he is.
Yep. Well, we will definitely see, and I will bring you all more updates on tomorrow's show. But let me just refresh one more time on this people page just to make
Yeah,
sure there have been no updates.
it's gonna be every day from now.
Yes, indeed, child.
There's so many defendants. I gotta think there's just more to come along. It's not just Cassie.
No,
Welcome, Moon.
And then I didn't really read the details of it, but then a new lawsuit just came out where someone said that Diddy raped her, and they said that his penis was the size of a Tootsie Roll or something like that.
Oh, Auntie, not a
Oh, I'm
tootsie.
serious.
Maybe
That's
that's
what
why
she
he's
said.
the way he is.
Let me see, Diddy, and I'm gonna just Google Diddy Tootsie Roll and see what comes up.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. This could be a large part of the problem right here.
Hmm. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna I found a link from the New York Post. I'm gonna just share it. We're not gonna go over, it, but I just wanted to. Like, she said it was the size of a Tootsie Roll.
Okay, put it up there.
So you see, from New York Post, Sean Diddy Combs accused of raping woman who compared his erect penis to a Tootsie Roll in new lawsuit.
Get out of here. This
The
man,
butterfly, that's all. Let me see the Tootsie Roll. The Tootsie Roll.
not the picture of the Tootsie Roll up there. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. This could be a large part of the problem right here. Why
Hmm.
this dude is so fucked up in the head. Wow. Mm, mm,
And
mm.
I have to say, I love me a Tootsie Roll, honey. I actually know people who don't eat them. I'm like, how? They're so good.
Ah, who's anti Tootsie Roll? Hammy, don't.
Unless they're the fruit ones. Oh, I love the fruit ones, the chocolate ones. I love anything that got Tootsie Roll on that package, honey, is going into my mouth. They say they make dentists a lot of money. They sure do.
Don't do Tootsie Roll like that, Happy.
They do hunt all that darn sugar. They said, I'll do a Tootsie Pop. Well, then, bitch, you'll do a Tootsie Roll. A Tootsie Pop ain't nothing but a Tootsie Roll wrapped in candy,
Right? What's the difference?
wrapped in hard shell candy. I'll suck on the candy and throw the chocolate away. You know what, you blasphemous bitch? How dare you? Well, speaking of blasphemous bitches,
Segue.
Chris Chris Brown, honey, y'all heard about his ass?
The karma, honey.
Yeah,
Holy.
first, gonna last night gonna tweet some damn free Tory on his. We're gonna put that shit on his Instagram story, and then gonna get arrested shortly afterwards. Stupid. So I just shared this link from TMZ, and y'all see where it says Chris Brown arrested in UK over alleged bottle throwing incident. So Chris Brown is in trouble with the law again. The R&B singer was arrested Thursday in the United Kingdom over a bottle throwing incident at a nightclub 2 years ago, TMZ has confirmed. Brown was taken into custody at a hotel in Manchester, England, early Thursday morning on suspicion of uh, grievous bodily harm, according to law enforcement sources. The Sun reported Brown was busted hours after he flew into town on a private jet, landing in Manchester Airport. We're told the arrest stems from a violent incident that reportedly took place at Tate nightclub in the Mayfair section of London on February 19th of 2023. Brown allegedly clashed with the music producer Abe Diao and is accused of attacking him with the bottle. At the time, Diao told the Sun that Chris smashed him over the head with the bottle and then punched and kicked him. Ryan J. Dainstrad, Dial's attorney, in his 2013 lawsuit against Brown, tells TMZ, we can confirm that Chris Brown was involved in an incident with our client and the injuries sustained are serious. We are pursuing all legal remedies to hold him accountable. At this time, we will let the facts speak for themselves through the proper legal channels. We've reached out to Chris's reps. So far, no word back. So, okay, my thing is, right, they said this man's attorney, you already knew you don't hit this man over the head with a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The attorney said Chris Brown hit my client over the head with a bottle, and we will be taking legal action. So he said this back in 2023. You and your cocky crack-headed ass got on your private jet and still decided to take your ass over to Manchester, baby. They will meet you at the airport. They said, well, come on, Chris. You know where you going, boo.
Did he think
It's like,
they weren't going to do anything?
apparently. Apparently.
Wow. Well, he poked around and found out.
Stupid ass. Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Somebody tweeted, "You out here freeing Tory, now you out here talking about free me."
Exactly. That's just stupid ass kid.
Yeah, he was really stupid. I guess he just thought they was just gonna forget about it.
And this whole Torah thing is actually like really kind of getting under my skin, only because like it's willful stupidity, right?
Yeah.
because we already have the information that we need. The court has already pretty much proved what they needed to in the court and said that Tory Lanez, or excuse me, Daystar Peterson, they confirmed they were able, the prosecution were able to prove that reasonable doubt again. They were able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Tory Lanez shot a gun that he did not have registered. That's why his ass went to jail for 10 years. He actually did, he went to jail for shooting the gun, but he didn't even go to jail for shooting Megan. Let's
Right.
wake that up. He got
Right.
went to jail for shooting the gun. So now this mystery bodyguard, after this motherfucker still got what, about 8 more years to do in jail. This mystery bodyguard who claims that he was Kelsey's bodyguard, right? And I want y'all to also keep in mind that there were nobody else in that car other than Megan, Kelsey, Tory, and Tory's bodyguard. No other bodyguard, right? So now all of a sudden Kelsey's bodyguard has new information that Kelsey shot the gun. Well, if that were true, the state of California would have went after Kelsey and would have tried to prove that she was the one who shot the gun. Right?
Why
So
did you say that before?
willful stupidity because they hate Megan, they hate black women so much that they are willing to accept anything that they hear without even adding any critical thinking to that massaging war is a motherfucker, honey. Well, why wait until now? Oh, well, his reasoning for why waiting until now, apparently is because he didn't want to get Kelsey in trouble.
You know, I said before, there is so many bot farms and fake profiles of alleged African Americans that are not black people, stirring up things on these social media platforms. I have to wonder if a lot of this conversation is not coming from them to get people, talking about it and being disrespectful towards Megan and so forth. I just that just crossed my mind that some of this is not coming from real people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes and no. Only because I say that because yes, it's true. There are like agents who are chaos agents who are out
Right,
there using bots and stuff to cause like, but it's I'm talking about the people who actually see that stuff and are not doing their due diligence to go in and to look. The information is out there if you care to look,
right,
and they're not looking. I took somebody who I used to work with just yesterday took me off there. They must have blocked me because I don't see them. I don't see them on my friends list anymore. But he was putting on his Facebook about how like Megan lied and this man almost got killed because of her lying, and he's in jail. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. And I know for a fact that he is who he say he is because I used to work with this man. So he's the one. And then I put the link and I put pretty much what I'm telling y'all. If that were true, then the state of California would have went after Kelsey. The state
right,
of California were able to prove that it was Daystar Peterson that did this, not Kelsey. And then I actually put the link to where he can see the what's it called, the court dockets or whatever, where
right.
you see guilty. I put that where you can clearly see it. He must have liked that and blocked my ass, honey. But yeah, there are agents out there, but no, it's the people I'm talking about are the motherfuckers who are not agents and still take that information and run with it, especially beyond the publications like the all hip hops and the hot new hip hops and stuff they're talking about
Right, right,
in the shade room, especially. Like y'all know good and damn well that why are y'all even reporting this shit? This is crazy.
right. Because he was not convicted for shooting Megan. That was the whole. Yeah,
Exactly. And
that
now
was.
it's her fault that and she because she lied, he the reason he got stabbed. No, 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 no. No, no. He got stabbed and he's in jail because of his actions, not nobody else's.
He got stabbed because he was running his little Daystar mouth.
Mhm.
Allegedly, according to the last video I saw, because he's mouthy, so
Very.
that'll get you stabbed in prison.
Oh, we have a comment. If it was her fault, she deserves an award for that. No, she don't, because the job won't done. Ooh, Derek. Don't that wasn't nice. I just had to hit myself on the hand, y'all. I'm sorry. Well, that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything about Chris or abusers or the people that support abusers, honey?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah. Well, speaking of people who support abusers, Tia Kemp, Yanti Tia, honey. Oh, honey, we about to watch some video clips of her, and when I tell you she is, when I tell you, and I'm sorry because I know there are some Gen Xers in this room at the moment, but baby, y'all are not beating the male censored allegations, honey. That fuck that largemouth bass bitch. Oh wow. Largemouth bass bitch is hilarious. But I just shared this link from Hot New Hip Hop. Tia Kemp goes off on Halle Bailey for getting restraining order against DDG.
No.
Y'all read that right.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
So let me share my screen, and we're going to watch what she has to say about it. Let me share my screen.
DDG. I don't know what the fuck going on. But everybody, all my nieces and nephews keep sending me this shit going on. And I don't know. I don't. But I do know this. We ain't no fucking saints. I've kicked my baby daddy in the fucking stomach and took off running. But when that motherfucker caught me, he hit me back in my stomach and I was out of breath for 5 minutes. Now, all I'm going to say is this. I don't know who the fuck hit who, but all I could tell you is this. Leave that police ass shit out of the equation, all right? You got a motherfucking baby. If you want some police shit to do, you go to family court and you get your money.
Okay, that's part one. And you already see, honey, we already starting off crazy. So let's part two.
And you get y'all visitation and let that shit be. I ain't putting no screening orders on my baby daddies. I'm not doing that. I ain't never tried to. Bitch, I don't want you in jail because you can't do shit for us in there. I'm going to beat your ass and you bet not call no fucking police. You whoop my ass, I ain't calling them bitches either. I'm kicking your fucking ass back. And you come get the motherfucking baby after I black your eye and break your fucking elbow, bitch. I don't like this little shit that's going on under the fucking sea. Because my nephew should be able to see his baby and vice versa.
And I believe that there's one more. Let me make sure. Yep, I think there's one more. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that was the last one.
Well,
I
thank God.
think.
Please
And we
go
have
ahead.
a comment. She said one thing correctly. I don't know. Okay, exactly. That
Just
was
because it's what she would do doesn't mean it's what every woman should do. She doesn't know anything about this girl's situation. Stay out of it, Kia. Tia, whatever her name is.
really no. And then if you're going to get into it, at least give some valuable advice. Don't be talking about, don't, oh, we beat each other up. That's just what it is. No, baby. No. That is extremely toxic, and nobody should want to go through that. And you should be encouraging people, especially no young girls younger than you, who may even look up to you and think that advice is valuable. And you telling her, "Oh, keep the police out your business. He need to see his child." Why would if he? So what we already know so far, it was alleged that he hit her and then smashed her face against the steering wheel while the little boy was in the backseat crying. So that little boy was able to see that. You think a little boy needs to be around somebody that volatile? No. Are you kidding me? If these niggas don't care about not going to jail when they assault people, why would I? Okay, wake that up, Hammy. Wake it up. If they don't care, why should I?
Yeah, Tia need to sit down. For real. This is not her business.
It's not. And I would love to say that this is like an isolated incident, but no, I've seen and talked to people that were around her age of a certain group. This is why I say, like, when I say that a lot of Gen X black women are male censored, I'm not just saying that lightly. Like, they have shown, look at how a lot of them still support Chris Brown. And you see, even if with the most recent news going on, it's all, oh, free Chris. Oh, hey, motherfuckers going to damn concert flying overseas to go see his ass and shit. It is crazy to me, honey. Crazy how much support that he has from women.
Well, a lot of them point to wherever he was recently that he saw Karuchi and
Mm-hmm.
whoever else he's abused. And if they can still smile about it and be friends, why should we be mad at it? Yeah, just dumb shit.
Mm-hmm. And it ain't lost on me, honey, that he popped up around her as soon as their restraining order ended.
Hmm.
Well, that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything about this? Like, Hammock, what he call her, largemouth bass bitch?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, the next story, y'all, I have to apologize. So yesterday we talked about Justin Bieber on Scooter Braun, like the amount of over $8 million. And I even made a comment. I was like, Justin Bieber, you got that money. Go ahead and pay that man. Why you paid it? Because you know you got it. I stand corrected. It looks like he don't got it.
Oh,
And I'm sharing, yes, girl, and I'm sharing a link from TMZ, honey. So y'all see where it says Justin Bieber sold music catalog for $200 million because he was broke. Child. And I said yesterday I wasn't watching that um TMZ investigates what happened to Justin Bieber, but I think I'm gonna eat my words and just go and watch it because it looks juicy. And we are about to watch a clip of what they were talking about. So give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. I couldn't care less about this wigger. I know that's right. Okay, let's let this load and then we're going to watch this video. Okay.
When you're rolling in dough, all of this doesn't matter that much. When you're broke and you want to start blaming people, that's when it matters. I was on a call with multiple people. Justin Side acknowledged that in 2022, he was on the verge of, and the words were financial collapse. And that's why he had to sell his catalog.
He was so broke in 2022 that he had to borrow Will Bracey, who was a member of the church.
His COO.
His COO. He had to borrow Will's credit card so he could go play golf. That's how broke he was. He could not afford a round of golf.
But it's not cheap to be the biggest pop star in the world. He is the biggest pop star in the world. Of course, he has to charter jets. Of course, he has mega mansions, which, by the way, we were told he paid cash for all the houses.
And it struck us when he made that sale and they announced the sale.
Justin Bieber just sold his music catalog for an estimated measly $200 million.
It was shocking.
We were all like, why is Justin Bieber at such an early stage in his career selling off his catalog? And there were other people who were selling their catalogs, but they were all much older. And so it was like, why is he selling this?
Sold out of desperation.
Justin Haley and Michael Rhodes,
His attorney,
went to Scooter and said, we got to sell this catalog. Scooter said no. And finally, when Scooter realized they were going to sell it, this was in December, Scooter said, at least wait until January because you'll get a tax break if you wait till January. And Justin said, I got to sell it now. And he sold it in December. That's how broke he was. But, how on earth do you blow through $1 billion?
I'll tell you how you blow through $1 billion. Join a cult and let that cult take your money. Cause y'all saw it right. And you see that it's all I'm saying rich white people problems, honey, are hilarious. He was so broke that he had to borrow a credit card from the CEO of his church so he can go play a round of golf because he couldn't afford a round of golf. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I found that hilarious. I said, this is the most out of touch shit I have. Now, if he would have said like he needed to borrow a credit card to get some food or something like that, then that's what a round of golf, dude. Really?
Yeah,
but yeah, I think he's in a cult, and I think he
broke.
Mm-hmm.
That's broke. That's why he had to sell it right then.
Yep. And Scooter even tried to tell him, like, look, you're gonna save on some taxes if you wait until January. Don't do it. Just like, nah, I need to get rid of this shit now. You know why? Because that church wanted that money now. Allegedly. But yeah, I take that back. I think I will be watching TMZ investigates what happened to Justin Bieber because now I kind of want to know.
Right. And then what is this gonna do for him if he's not making any money? He's not making music is he making music that I am missing, or is he bringing in money somehow? It just seems like he just shows up to events and gets a picture taken. I mean, is he generating any funds? His wife is definitely not doing anything. So how long is this gonna last? You got multiple mansions and upkeep. I just 200 million is not a lot of money.
It's so like that he paid cash, especially not for his catalog. $200 million is nowhere near the worth of his catalog, and he was cheated for real, but he needed that money apparently. Hammy saying in the chat, keep me updated. Don't. She should have taken a percentage from that Erewhon 20 Bieber shake. Have you a mess? Well, we saw in that little clip that we just saw from TMZ, they mentioned Bruce Springsteen and how he had to sell his catalog, but he didn't do his until he was like much older. And yeah, but speaking of Bruce Springsteen, and normally I don't talk about politics up in here, but honey, Bruce Springsteen went over to the UK and is talking shit about Trump. Hey, you know what? I'm here for it. I'm sorry.
Yep, he came out swinging.
Yeah. So I just shared this link from CNN. Bruce Springsteen says Trump is unfit and incompetent in remarks during UK show. I said, you better tell him, Bruce. So rock megastar Bruce Springsteen has made a series of critical remarks about U.S. President Donald Trump and the policies of his administration, calling the American leader unfit for office. The mighty E Street Band is here tonight to call upon the righteous power of art, of music, of rock and roll, dangerous times, Springsteen said at the beginning of a concert in Manchester, Northern England on Wednesday. In my home, the America I love, the America I've written about, that has been a beacon of hope and liberty for 250 years, is currently in the hands of a corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous administration, he said. Tonight, we will ask all who believe in democracy and the best of our American spirit to rise with us. Raise your voices against authoritarianism, added Springsteen. The rock star spoke out several times during the show, later posting clips of his comments to his Instagram account. The last check on power after the checks and balances of government have failed are the people, you and me. It's in the union of people around a common set of values. Now, that's all that stands between democracy and authoritarianism. So at the end of the day, all we've really got is each other, he continued. He later criticized some of the U.S. administration's most recent policies. In America, the richest men are taking satisfaction in abandoning the world's poorest children to sickness and death. This is happening now, he said. In my country, they are taking sadistic pleasure in the pain that they inflict on loyal American workers. They're rolling back historic civil rights legislation that led to a more just and plural society, he said. They're abandoning our great allies and siding with dictators against those struggling for their freedom. They're defunding American universities that won't bow down to their ideological demands. They're removing residents off American streets and without due process of law are deporting them to foreign detention centers and prisons. This is all happening now, added Springsteen. The singer also criticized U.S. lawmakers for failing to protect the American people from what he called an unfit president and a rogue government, and having no concern or idea what it means to be deeply American. The America that I've sung to you about for 50 years is real, and regardless of its faults, it's a great country with a great people, so we'll survive this moment, said Springsteen. The Manchester show was the first on the European leg of Springsteen and the E Street Band's Land of Hope and Dreams tour, which will also take in dates in France, Germany, Spain, Italy, and the Czech Republic. Says Springsteen previously criticized Trump and urged Americans to vote for Kamala Harris at a campaign rally for the Democratic candidate last year. His criticism of Trump comes after Hollywood star Robert De Niro took aim at the U.S. president at the Cannes Film Festival on Tuesday. In my country, we are fighting like hell for the democracy we once took for granted, said De Niro. That affects us all here because the arts are democratic, art is inclusive, and brings people together like tonight. Art looks for truth, art embraces diversity, and that's why art is a threat, added De Niro, who is an outspoken critic of the U.S. president. That's why we are a threat to autocrats and fascists, he added. De Niro ended his speech with a call for people to stand up to Trump without violence, but with a great passion and determination. It's time for everyone who cares about liberty to organize, to protest, and when there are elections, of course, to vote. Vote, the actor added. Okay, child. So, I do appreciate Bruce Springsteen for, talking about, the civil rights and all that. But what really just kind of burns my biscuits and annoys me a bit when people say, oh, this is not the America that I knew. This is not the America I've been singing to you about for 50 years. Yes, the fuck it is. It's been that America, and from what I'm seeing, honey, y'all are fighting hard to keep it that America. And I appreciate, him going on foreign grounds to say that, but baby, I would say you could say that here, but he has said that here. I'll give him that. But De Niro, I definitely don't remember him being like vocal about things like that. But if he was, I apologize. But I just don't remember seeing it. But it's like, it's so tone deaf when y'all say, oh, but this is not the America that I once knew. The America that I know is nah, 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 nah. Baby, your black neighbors got some stories. So look, they're white. Exactly. You're right, Hammond. And it's just like, now, if there were no white people who get it, then I would be like, okay. But there are actually white people who get it and who fight alongside. They are very anti-racist, very anti-discrimination. White, but we just kind of see a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to get my thoughts together. So, Robert De Niro was and is very vocal. Okay, I stand corrected and I apologize. That's that on that. But Bruce was right and he should say it, but I don't know, maybe say it more and stop saying that this is not the America that you once knew. Honey, this was always that kind of very discriminatory against people of color.
Well, when you live in a bubble, maybe you don't see it that way.
Yeah.
Because a wealthy person, a lot of them are isolated from events and things that happen in the world. You're busy partying and doing what wealthy people do. Some people just don't pay attention to current events. And when you don't have any worries financially in life, you tend to maybe ignore other things that's going on. Now, that's not true of all wealthy people, obviously, but I think that's true of some of them. And maybe he just wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, that's for sure. That much is that. Yep. But again, I am glad he did say it, and I guess better late than never. But just kind of, and again, like I said, I really appreciate, because a lot of times when white people do speak out, they tend to leave the civil rights movement behind. So I am glad that he mentioned that in his speech as well. So I can give credit where credit is due, I guess.
We'll give him that.
We'll give him that. Well, does anybody want to add anything on Springsteen before we go to the next story? Well, the next story, honey. Are y'all familiar with I know Happy is. Are y'all familiar with Sonia Morgan, who used to be on the Real Housewives of New York?
Never watched it.
Oh, okay.
Seen her picture of her. I might recognize her, but I don't really know her.
Okay. Well, honey, somebody don't want to know her is this restaurant called Tucci in New York, because she has been banned, honey. They do not want to know her. They said she cannot come past the thresholds, honey. If y'all see her, call security. Okay, so Morgan from Stanley Morgan marriage. Oh, Stanley Morgan marriage. Yep. Mm-hmm. Nice. And y'all see, I just shared here from People. Sonia Morgan banned from NYC hotspot after walking out on $1,000 bill.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And owner says he has broken rule of welcoming everyone. So, Real Housewives of New York City star Sonia Morgan is in hot water after allegedly dining and attempting to ditch at a New York City hotspot. Morgan, who's 61, dined at Tucci in New York City's NoHo neighborhood on Saturday evening. I've never been to this restaurant. I've never even heard of it. But it says with a nearly $1,000 bill came, Morgan allegedly refused to pay, and according to an onlooker, um, called the owner Max Tucci to dispute the bill and asked for a comped check. She was like, "I don't pay. People pay me to go to their restaurants." She was absolutely entitled and caused a scene about not paying, a source told Page Six. Max Tucci spoke to People and confirmed this version of the incident. "I like to clarify that there was no agreement for a complimentary dinner. Morgan's assumption otherwise shows poor judgment, which is consistent with her past behavior of not tipping our servers," he said. "We stand in solidarity with our hardworking staff and the industry, expecting respect and fair compensation for excellent service." Morgan is maintaining that the altercation was simply due to a miscommunication and that she remedied the unpaid check after she had gotten in touch with Tucci. "I, of course, offered to pay and tip, and I did when they finally called me back on Monday," she told People. Morgan declined to comment further. However, it is not all water under the bridge for Tucci, who said that he and his staff are refusing to tolerate disrespect and confirmed that Morgan has been blacklisted from the establishment following the May 10th incident. "Respect us and we'll respect you. Sonia is no longer welcome at Tucci, and I have broken my grandfather Oscar Tucci's cardinal rule of welcoming everyone to our table," he told People. Morgan was later welcomed for dinner at is that Il Tonello in New York City on Tuesday, May 13th, after the other incident made headlines. So, yeah, the entitlement, honey.
Called Cassette. I don't pay. People pay me to eat there. Oh, girl.
And they racked up a bill of almost $1,000.
Get out of here.
I'm just curious to see. I'm gonna go to Tucci NYC, and I'm just gonna look at the menu really quickly to see, like, what's the price point at this menu. Oh, it does look very expensive. Let me see.
Well, yeah, you spend $1,000 just to eat dinner. You know it's expensive.
Okay, so it's actually not too bad because I'm seeing that the it's an average from around $35 to $40 per entree or whatever. I see like one entree is $53. They have a ribeye for $79, but it looks like more like a steakhouse type of setting.
They probably
but
have
for her to
that costs.
yes, compared to these prices though, for her to rack up $1,000, she must have been wilding.
We got probably liquor that costs $800 a bottle. You know what I'm saying? A wine, you can rack up money like that buying specialty liquor.
Yeah, that's true. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Sonia Morgan back in 2009 at the New York City AIDS Walk. And she was actually very, very nice. And at the time, I did not know who she was. My friend who was walking with me, he knew because he was a really big fan of both New York and New Jersey housewives. So where she's short, she was actually tall. I want to say she and I are around the same height, Happy, believe it or not. Maybe she might be shorter, maybe around 5'9", 5'10" or so. Girl, and she had on some Chanel because it was raining. Like it was raining that day, or just finished raining. So she was wearing some Chanel rain boots, and they were so cute. But when I tell you, she was just so very down to earth, very personable. Like she was talking to everybody, especially my friend who was a huge fan of hers. But I will say she didn't stay for the entire walk. She probably only walked with us for about maybe 30, 45 minutes. But she came out and she showed support because I was walking with the No Hate campaign back then. The people responsible for my profile photo. So yeah, she was cool with her Chanel rain boots, and she was tall, Happy.
This misunderstanding could have been sorted out at the restaurant. Why did she have to leave and then say, "Oh, well, after they call me at home, then I settle the bill"? It was just a misunderstanding. You could have figured that out at the restaurant when they was telling you.
Wake it up.
Come on, girl.
Just like you said, the caucasity, honey. Think you can do shit like that to people.
Because you were on television. without even asking or being told, "Oh yes, we're gonna come to your dinner. Welcome." Just assuming. Okay.
Is it? But we can never really tell a person's morals seeing them. Yeah, that's true. No, well, some people. Some people you can kind of look and see, and tell, especially if you're looking at their face for asymmetry. Shout out to Chill.
Baby, you got that asymmetry down.
Anytime I see somebody, honey, with just a little bit of a crookedness, I say the right. Chill, girl, look.
They hiding something, baby. They liars, cheaters, killers. They run the range.
Well, I'm so in some other news that I am like so sure that you are all not going to care about. He mentions it at least once each show. I sure do, girl. I sure do.
Let me see your picture, Amy.
Hammy's a little cute. He's a cute little bald-headed little Libra. Well, I just shared this link from People. You see, Pete Davidson moves in with his girlfriend Elsie Heward. They're so happy together, according to an exclusive source. Now, on the outside, looking in to the north, there's nothing wrong with this. But to somebody like me who knows that these two have like only been a thing since March of this year, this is a red flag, honey. So let's get into straight people business for a little bit. So Pete Davidson and Elsie Hewitt have taken their relationship to the next level. A source exclusively tells People that the couple have moved in together nearly 2 months after they confirmed their relationship. Pete and Elsie have been living together in New York for the past few months, the source reveals. They're splitting their time between Pete's house in upstate New York and a brownstone they recently started renting in Brooklyn. They're so happy together and doing great, the insider adds. In March, a source told People that Davidson, who's 31, and Hewitt, who's 29, were dating after they were spotted packing on the PDA while swimming on the beach during a Palm Beach, Florida getaway. Then, just days after photos of them kissing in the ocean circulated, Hewitt went Instagram official with the comedian as she posted a video of him laughing in a bathrobe as a retro Rugrats episode played on the TV. The couple also recently traveled to Scotland for Dave Navarro's wedding, and Hewitt shared a carousel of photos from the trip on Instagram. The upload included a sweet video of the twosome walking, and Davidson kissed her forehead. Davidson's new romance comes 8 months after his split from Outer Banks actress Madeline Klein. Meanwhile, Hewitt was most recently linked to actor Jason Sudeikis, per Page Six. She also previously dated Ryan Phillippe, whom she sued in 2017 over an alleged domestic violence incident. Over the years, the SNL alum has been candid about the lessons he's learned about relationships, his relationships making headlines and dealing with fame. I got hit on the face with a Hollywood shovel, he told W Magazine in December. It was a long time coming and I needed it. I'm very happy where I am now mentally. I just want to be known for doing good work, he added. I want to be out there only when it's a movie, stand-up, charity, or business ventures. That's when I want to be seen. I don't want to be this fucking loser who just dates people. That's not who I am. Davidson previously opened up about the fascination around his dating life in a conversation with John Barenthal for the Walking Dead alums Real Ones podcast. I'm in my 20s and I've dated people, and for some reason that's very crazy and interesting to people. I don't think it's interesting, he said in March of 2023. I've been in show business for like half my life almost, for 14 or 15 years and on a national TV show. In 12 years, I've dated 10 people. Ooh, busy. He added, I don't think that's crazy, but to some people, that's very interesting, like me. That became all anyone would talk about. I'm not like flexing, you know what I mean? And these people that I dated, I met them all at work. Pete with the meat, honey. He ain't shy about sharing that meat. And you remember how he talking about how he was embarrassed because Ariana done went out and said that he got a big ass dick, honey. But then when you look at Ariana, she was about 4'11", honey. So any dick is gonna look big to her. But he said,
Stop it.
Pete said, he said that he hate that she's put that out there like that because now every girl that he dates after that, she gonna be expected like to get dicked down by a monster, and he gonna pull out this average piece, and she go like, well, where's the rest of it? Where Ariana was talking about?
What does she do? Is she anybody?
As far as let me look, because I don't think she is. I just know she was linked to Elsie Hewitt, linked to dating famous people.
Right.
Oh, she's a model.
Okay.
Says she's a model and influencer. She modeled for brands such as Guess and was named Playboy's Miss June in 2011. Now, I want to read more about this domestic violence with her and Ryan Phillippe because I don't remember hearing anything about that, honey. Especially with him. I don't know if y'all noticed, but we're starting to see like photos of him like resurfacing us, or not resurfacing, but we're starting to see like a lot more of Ryan that we see more than we've seen like over the past few years for him, because he just kind of fell back, but now he's like being more. I'm seeing him on social media a lot now. Let me Google just really quickly to see what I can find. Oh, it was settled. The case was settled. Just do a quick read.
It's quietly settled.
Let me see. Yeah, allegations of physical abuse. You know, I'm actually read a little bit more about this on my own time. Let's finish on with the tea, honey.
Okay.
So the next story I want to talk about, let's see which one. Oh, my man.
Oh my God.
Now I know I know y'all can't stand him. I know. But I think y'all might like this story because you know he's very litigious. He loves to try to sue somebody. And the person, and we actually talked about this person that he tried to sue for using his likeness on Instagram. It was a jewelry maker. I don't know if y'all remember because we talked about this last year. But anyway, that case is actually being dismissed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember we did talk about that.
So I just shared this link from All Hip Hop. 50 Cent's 5 million jury battle update. The ruling is in. So 50 Cent's high stakes $5 million lawsuit against a New York jeweler over the unauthorized use of his name and image to sell knockoff jewelry has officially been dismissed. Fifth and his company, NYC Vibe LLC, targeted Maksud Agajani, Trax NYC Corp, and several individuals for allegedly using his image and a replica of his custom designed necklace to falsely imply endorsement. The lawsuit claimed that Trax NYC used the rapper's photo and name across social media and online platforms to promote their jewelry without his consent. And at the heart of the dispute was a necklace created for 50 Cent. The complaint stated that the jeweler and his associates engaged in a campaign to exploit Jackson's name, image, and other intellectual property rights on social media to advertise, market, and sell their jewelry. Despite warnings, the defendants allegedly continued to post content featuring the necklace and Jackson's likeness, misleading consumers into believing he was affiliated with the brand. 50 Cent, known for being highly selective about his about licensing his image, argued that the unauthorized use diluted his brand and violated several laws, including trademark infringement. Court records show that the lawsuit has been dismissed with prejudice against the 4 of the 5 defendants: Maksud Agjani, Yashu Sean Kumar, Ivan Gonzalez, and Trax NYC Corp., meaning the claims cannot be brought back against them. Each side agreed to cover its legal fees and costs. However, the case against the 5th defendant, Melissa Kula, was dismissed without prejudice. The legal distinction leaves the door open for 50 Cent to refile claims against her in the future if he chooses to pursue further action. So yeah, now I must admit, because it's going to sound like I'm defending my man, but this is kind of crazy to me, especially if he was able to prove that he didn't authorize this, but I guess it's like you a celebrity and your image and your likeness is kind of used all over the place anyway. So they pretty much they probably used some AI and stuff to make it seem like 50 was a part of I mean, I'm sure this place, these people chose their words selectively, so they can avoid, well, not avoid litigation, but can call. I don't know. This is kind of. I feel like this is a slippery slope because if they can do this to 50 Cent, then somebody gonna be doing it to another celebrity soon, and that's
in the article. I mean, seeing the ad would probably give me more of an opinion on it. Is the ad available?
not in this article.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it. 50 Cent tracks NYC. Let me do an image search to see if they have the. No, I'm only seeing pictures of the jeweler himself, but not the ad.
Okay.
Well, that's that on that. You can unmute now, Hammy. Oh, never mind. No, go back on mute, honey, because we about to talk about Krishan Rock next.
Oh Lord.
So remember not too long ago. No, now I really am going to mute. Remember how we talked about her not too long ago, and we learned that Blueface's dad kicked Krishan out of the house because she was with another guy, because of another guy by the name of Titan and all that.
Right.
Well, she's actually broken up with Titan already, child, and we're gonna watch her talk about it. And you, first of all, y'all know I'm only playing this because y'all know how I feel about a Baltimore accent. You know I live for Baltimore accents. That's probably my favorite accent ever. But I just shared the link from the Shade Room, child, and we're gonna watch. They have it's live bites. They have 3 short clips about her talking about her breakup with Titan. So we're gonna see what she has to say about it. Give me 1 second.
Y'all seen I was with this nigga named Glock. Long story short, I'm back outside. I didn't want to be though. I really liked Titan. I loved what we had going on. But it came with something. It came with all these like drama. Like, for example, I get 3 text messages, right? Boom, boom, boom. I confront him about the messages like, hey, what's up with this? What you on? He just start saying the real. Basically, he was with this female. She holding him down. She making sure he's straight. She there. She's his #1 supporter. And he just dropped it like a hot potato when he saw me start fucking with me. Shit going serious with us. But you see my...
Okay, that's part 1. So far, what she said that she approached him about some messages that he saw, and he confessed to her, well, yeah, this was something I had serious going on before I met you, and da 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 da. So here's the next video.
Interview. That's why I don't really deal with niggas that got bitches. I don't know what you telling that bitch. I don't know what you want. So when all the truth came to the light, I went back outside. I treat my relationships like math. Once it start getting confusing, I get to cheating, nigga. Like, when Mother's Day come, he make that post. But then he find out, that's when he deleted it. And then he find out that I'm with Glock. I didn't know Glock was going to post that. For real. I mean, I met Glock in Miami. Glock went to Atlanta. I went to Baltimore to pick up my son. Me and Glock just start talking. He was like, I'm coming to you. I'm like, shit, pull up then. He pull up to Baltimore. All right, I'm chilling with Glock. We cool. I like
I'm sorry. She said, I told her to pull up to Baltimore. So he pulled up, and I'm chilling with Clyde. And I'm sorry, y'all probably will not agree with me, but she ate with that one line. She's like, I treat my relationships like math. When it gets hard, I start cheating. I'm sorry. That was the most egregious hood rat thing I have heard all morning. Okay, and now the last.
He a cool nigga. And he got that dog in him, so like, well, maybe this more my speed. I'm happy I did the celibacy shit because it just protected me in so many fucking ways, bro. Coochie still hairy, bro. You know how proud I am?
Something you'll use in the future. No, I will not use that in the future because Aries don't cheat. How dare you?
Jesus, Joseph Christ. Oh.
She said she happy that she did her celibacy, and Coochie still hairy.
And why is she in a hospital bed? What is? You know what? Oh.
But yeah, she said she's back outside. Y'all saw she didn't know Glock was gonna post that picture of her, when they were chilling and stuff. But that I knew because of that old saying, dig deep and think about the messiest bitch you know. It's a man, ain't it? So yeah, Krishan is back outside. And unfortunately, y'all, I feel like we're gonna be seeing a lot more of her. I know y'all over her and her baby daddy, but I think we're gonna be seeing a lot more of her in the future, child.
I wish she would go back in the house.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, does anybody want to add anything else to this girl before we go to the last story? Okay. Well, our last story, honey. I think let this be a lesson to cis hetero women, honey. Well, hell, let this be a lesson to anybody. Look at the decisions that your partner is making. If they're not making good decisions, honey, you need to start making some of your own. Well, then again, if the lack of critical thinking weren't rampant, then maybe y'all will see some shit. Anyway, I say all that to say, because remember, we had previously talked about Dame Dash and how, the courts are pretty much going after him and telling him he has to pay and they will seize all his assets and all of that. Now it's affecting his wife's money. And y'all see where I just shared from Vibe, Dame Dash's wife also ordered to sell stake in business to help him pay debts.
Wow.
Ain't that crazy? Child. So Damon Dash is now bringing other people down with him due to his refusal to pay his debts. Recently, his wife Raquel Horn was ordered to sell her stake in his business to help him handle all that he owes. Horn maintains 100% ownership of the Dash Group, which includes several of Dash's most cherished businesses: America New, his streaming network, CEO by Dash, his website, and his children's book, Dusko Goes to Space. The U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York recently appointed a receiver to oversee these sales, according to All Hip Hop. Dash, who has evaded payments for years, is also being required to fully cooperate throughout this process. This includes handing over documents and providing access to company records. This is just the latest domino to fall following the Rockefeller co-founder being forced to auction off his 1/3 stake in the legendary label to assist in paying his debts. Unfortunately for Edwina Brooks, almost $200,000 of the money made from the auction went to unpaid child support, and about $2 million went to Dame Dash's outstanding state tax bill. This left no extra money for their copyright infringement case. Dash owes Brooks $78,000 per a judgment in 2020, and he unsuccessfully countersued the Maffietta writer. This compounds with $100,000 owed for interest and legal fees, plus his ongoing case against Brooks, Josh Weber, and Muddy Water Pictures for a separate judgment related to Dear Frank. Dash owes them $823,000 for that, on top of $4 million for a defamation judgment involving Weber. Throw in another $8 million in state taxes to New York. The polarizing mogul is preparing to file for bankruptcy per recent court documents. If he is not cooperative with the court's directives, which have been previously an issue according to his former lawyers, he risks being held in contempt or even being arrested. One silver lining for Dame Dash and Raquel Horn is that Brooks can only obtain the dollar amount she is owed from whatever is made via the sale of Dame Dash Studios. Thus, they could walk away with some profit. Whatever that means. But yeah, ladies, watch out who the hell you marrying. And I know she saw when his lawyers were in his face. Remember, we talked about that, and the lawyer said, "Hey, we need to show the court documents all of this. We need to show them that." And he was like, "Nah, we filed bankruptcy, so they don't need to even see that. We just gonna wait till the bankruptcy." He's telling the lawyers how to do their jobs, sir. And I'm sure the wife saw that. So now, look, now your ass got to sell your portion of what you owe, and she owns 100% of that business. So now she has to sell it in order for him to pay his debts. Right. That was all the tea that I had for us today, y'all. So before I head out and go and watch my stories, did anybody have any tea that they want to share? Any tea I might have missed? All right. Well, thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and sip tea with me. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time if you can make the live show. So hope to see you then. Do not forget about our email, auntie@auntiederek.com. We want to hear from you, whether, again, that is show feedback, any topics that you want us to talk about, or anything. Please email us because we want to hear from you. And our email is auntie@auntiederek.com. In the meantime, you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
Bye, everybody.
You happy?